Hello students, I Deepali Mehta welcomes you on my YouTube channel Smart Learning. So let us see the today's question. 6 Archana and Prerna are the partners sharing profit and losses in the ratio of 2:1. So the profit sharing ratio is 2:1. You are required to prepare trading and profit and loss account for the year ended 31st March 2019 and the balance sheet as on that date. Trial balance as on 31st March 2019. Okay, pause the video screen and note down the question. Now if you can see in the question that the capital account is given, as well as if you can see the current account is also given. See here the current account is given, so one partner's current account is given on the credit side and one partner's current account is given on the debit side, so that is possible. Okay, so current account could be a debit balance also and could be a credit balance also. Okay, so when the capital and current both are given, it is a fixed capital method, right? So in fixed capital method, we are going to prepare in a format is trading account, profit and loss account, partner's current account and balance sheet. Okay, so that will be our format of the answer. Now let us start with the marking of the question. First thing is given is stock. On 1st April 2018 will go to trading account debit side. Then patents is an asset, it is an intangible asset. Then sundry debtors assets, stock of stationery. Now here if the printing and stationery word would have been used, then it will go to profit and loss account debit side, but this is not an expense, this is a stock. So any kind of stock is your asset if it is given directly in the trial balance. Okay, because here there is no date is given. Like in stock, if you'll say that ma'am, stock is also given, so why you are writing in the trading account debit side? So but that is an opening stock, the date is clearly given for the same. But in stock of stationery, if the date is not given, that means it is a closing stock, and if the closing stock is given in the trial balance, it is our asset directly. So that means it is already been adjusted in the expenditure. Okay, then trademark assets, intangible asset, bills receivable asset, electricity charges, profit and loss account debit side, wages, trading account debit side, heating and lighting, trading account debit side, because it is a manufacturing expense, trade expense, profit and loss account debit side, sales return less from sales, so put one tick mark on sales. Then land and building assets, furniture asset, cash at bank asset, investment asset. Then current account of Archana. Now we are going to prepare the current account. So partner's current account debit side, it will go as it is given on the debit side. So we are going to write to balance brought down in case of Archana. Okay, so I'm writing PCD only because short form will remain the same. Okay, then bad debts PD formula. Then purchases, trading account debit side. On the credit side, capital account is given, so now capital account will directly go to liabilities, because as we don't want to change the value of the capital, so it will go to directly liabilities. 10% bank loan is a liability and there is an hidden adjustment on it, as they have given the 10% bank loan is taken on 1st January 2019. So we have to calculate 10% on 10,000 for 3 months, January, February and March. Okay, 3 months interest is due, outstanding है. So outstanding interest है, तो सबसे पहले क्या होगा, add to loan, and second effect will go to P&L debit side. Okay, so I'll just put one dot over here. Okay, I hope यहाँ तक आपको clear हुआ होगा. And then on the debit side there is no interest is also given, right? So if there is any interest given, then we have to think of that how many month is exactly due. But here on the debit side there is no interest value. Okay, so that means from January to March 3 months interest is due. Okay, then next is reserve fund. Reserve fund will go to liabilities, sundry creditors liabilities, bills payable liabilities, purchase return less from purchases, so put one tick mark on purchases. Purchases are here, put one tick mark. Then RDD, it's an old RDD PD formula. Sales, trading account credit side. Then interest, it is given on the credit side, so profit and loss account credit side. And current account of Prerna is on a credit side, so it will go to PCC, that is partner's current account credit side, as by balance brought down. Okay, so I hope it must be cleared with the marking of the trial balance. Now let us start with the adjustments. Now first adjustment is stock on 31st March 2019 is valued at cost price 12,000 and market price is 17,000. Okay, so cost price or market price, whichever is less. So lesser value is 12,000. We'll consider the 12,000 value. So what will be the effect for the same? PC and assets. Okay. Then our customer Mr. Shekhar failed to pay his dues of rupees 800. So failed to pay his dues means it is a bad debts. He's not going to pay us back, right? So that's the bad debts. So further bad debts is given, and make a provision for bad and doubtful debts at 2% on net sales. So now this is very very important, right? As this time they have given, on net sales. Always what they give is that make a provision for bad and doubtful debts at 2% on debtors, or 3% on debtors, or 5% on debtors. So they always mention on debtors. Now this time they have given on net sales. So here effects are not going to change. Effects will remain the same. Okay, what is the effects of the further bad debts and new RDD? That is PD formula and less from debtors. Okay, so only calculation part will change. How? That we'll see along with the answer. Okay, next is 1/8 of the patents are to be written off. Now patents is an intangible asset. Okay, so intangible assets is being utilized, so it is always said written off. So the effects are going to remain the same as depreciation, but we are going to write as less written off. So less from asset and P&L debit side. Okay, because patents is an intangible asset. It has a life. For example, it has a life of 8 years. So after 8 years, intangible thing does not have anything like in solid, like if you have a furniture. So after 8 years also you have that, my chair, my table is there to sell off. But in intangible case, you does not have anything to sell off once the life is over of an asset, right? So like in leasehold premises, the benefit of the intangible asset also reduces every year. So we have to write as written off, not as a depreciation. We write depreciation for the thing which is owned property and which is tangible, where we can sell it off at the end of its life, so we get some residual value. Okay, so here in case of intangible asset, we are not going to receive anything as a residual value or as a scrap value. Okay, so we are going to write written off. Fourth, a part of furniture rupees 5,000 is purchased on 1st October 2018. Now this is not an adjustment, because they says that furniture is already been purchased on 1st October 2018. So the part of the furniture is 5,000 which has been purchased. So out of 13,000, 5,000 is a new purchase in the current year. Okay, and the 8,000 is a old furniture. So this information is given for calculation of depreciation. So on 8,000 you have to calculate for the entire year, and on 5,000 you have to calculate for 6 months. That is from 1st October 2018 to 31st March 2019. Okay. Then depreciation on land and building 10% and on furniture 5%. Okay. So this is depreciation. The depreciation ka effect kya hoga? What will be the effect of the depreciation? Less from asset and P&L debit side. Now let's put a tick mark on land and building and furniture. And for the third adjustment, I forgot to put a tick mark on patents. I'm putting it up. Outstanding expenses, wages rupees 300 and electricity charges rupees 325. So it's an outstanding expenses. Outstanding always add. So add to expenses. And second effect will go to liabilities. So put a tick mark on electricity charges and put a tick mark on wages. Then allow interest on capital at the rate 3%. We are supposed to calculate the interest value on capital only. Okay, but the effect will now go to current account. So whatever the effects we were used to give in the capital account, now we will going to give it in the current account. Okay, so what will be the effect of the same? Profit and loss account debit side and partner's current account credit side. Okay, so see, only the name of the account is changing over here, nothing else. Okay, instead of capital you have to just now always have to say the current account. That's all. No need to tick mark over here. Okay, then repairs to building rupees 2,000 was debited to building. Now this is rectification of errors. Repairing charges of building we have debited to building. Now building means what? Asset. Asset always carries a debit balance. जब आप उसमें debit करते हो, that means you have added into the building account. So expenses cannot be added to the building. So wrongly it has been added to the building. So now we have to what? We have to minus, right? So less from building, okay, and P&L debit side. Now as we know that building is our asset. So you can just in the bracket you can write if you want to asset. Okay. So now put a one more tick mark on land and building. Now here an important point is that repairing charges we included wrongly into the building. So that means in 22,000 this 2,000 is inclusive. So first we have to do 8th adjustment. That means from 22 2,000 will be minus. So remaining balance will be 20,000. So 20 is an exact value of land and building. So on that value we are supposed to provide the depreciation. Okay, we cannot provide the depreciation on 22,000 because that is not the actual value of land and building. Okay, so 20,000 is the actual value. So on that we are supposed to provide the depreciation. I hope this must be clear to you. Okay, now let us start with the solving of the question. Prepare a format in your notebook. Now in the format on the top you write in the books of Archana and Prerna. Trading account for the year ended 31st March 2019 on both the corners debit and credit. Profit and loss account for the year ended 31st March 2019 debit credit. Then partners current account, okay, debit credit Archana Prerna on both the side, and balance sheet as on 31st March 2019. Okay, sure. Let us start with the posting of the trial balance first. So to opening stock, outer column 8,560. Then patents assets में जाएगा, inner column 2,000, leave one line. Then sundry debtors 18,500, two adjustments are there, leave 3 lines. Then stock of stationery, so after leaving 3 lines write stock of stationery 3,000, outer column as there is no adjustment. Trademark, again in the asset, it is an intangible asset, outer column as there is no adjustment on it, 2,000. Bills receivable, outer column 6,300. Electricity charges, profit and loss account debit side, leave first right and then write inner column 1,450, leave one line. Wages, trading account, but after opening stock I have to leave 2 lines for the purchases. So after leaving 2 lines I will write 2 wages, 950 inner column as there is an adjustment. Then leave 1 line and write 2 heating and lighting, outer column 1,000 as there is no adjustment. Trade expenses, profit and loss account debit side, outer column 850 as there is no adjustment. Sales return, in the second line I will write less sales return, inner column 200. Land and building, inner column 22,000, leave 3 lines as there are 2 adjustments. Furniture, inner column 13,000, okay, leave only 1 line. Okay, so as there is only one adjustment of depreciation, the new and old is just an information. Then cash at bank, outer column 5,000 as there is no adjustment. Investment, outer column 7,500 as there is no adjustment. Then current account of Archana, so to balance brought down. In Archana's column you have to write 2,100. Then bad debts, so right here to bad debts amount is 400. Then write add further bad debts, add new RDD, leave 1 line and write less old RDD. Then purchases, so write 2 purchases in the second line of the trading account, 23,700 inner column. Then on the credit side, capitals are given. The capital will be directly transferred to the liabilities as it is a fixed capital method. Okay, so capital Archana and Prerna 40,000, 20,000 inner column. So total will be outer column 60,000. Then 10% bank loan. So just leave 3 lines over here and then write 10% bank loan taken on 1st January 2019. Inner column 10,000. Now it's an hidden adjustment, so we'll do it simultaneously only. So it is an interest due, so it will be added to the loan because that much is our liability. So add interest due. If we'll calculate 10% on 10,000, so it will be 1,000, but we are supposed to calculate for 3 months. Okay, so 1,000 is for 12 months. So for 6 months it will be 500. Okay, and for 3 months it will be 250. So 250 is the value of interest. So in the outer column you have to mention 10,250 together. Then second effect will go to profit and loss account debit side to interest due on bank loan. As any interest was not given, so we will just write directly in the outer column 250. Right? Let's move ahead. Reserve fund liabilities, outer column 1,000 as there is no adjustment. Sundry creditors, outer column 11,000 as there is no adjustment. Bills payable, outer column 3,000 as there is no adjustment. Purchase return less from purchases 1,000. So in the outer column 22,700. Then RDD, it's an old RDD. The formula we have already written, so we have to just mention the amount 500. Then sales, so trading account credit side mentioned by sales. Inner column 30,200. Okay, sales return is 200, so in the outer column the value will be 30,000. Interest, it is given on the credit side, so it's an income for the firm. So by interest, outer column 310. And then current account of Prerna, it is given on the credit side, so we will write by balance brought down. So in the Prerna's account we have to write 1,500. So we are done with the posting of the trial balance as well as we have completed the hidden adjustment on the bank loan also. Now let us start with the adjustments given below the trial balance. The first adjustment is the closing stock. In the fourth last line, we have to mention by closing stock in the trading account credit side. Amount we are going to consider is 12,000. Okay. The second effect of the same will go to assets. So by closing stock we have to mention, okay, outer column 12,000. Second adjustment, our customer Mr. Shekhar failed to pay his dues of rupees 800. Now this time there is no other adjustment. Okay. So what is the sequence of the debtors is add or less other adjustment, and if the add or less other adjustment is not given, we are going to minus directly now for the bad debts and then new RDT. Okay. So first less further bad debts 800. So if we'll minus it, we'll get the balance of 17,700. Then we have to minus less 2% new RDT on net sales, right, this time, right? So we have to mention here because this time we are not going to calculate on 17,700. Otherwise usually what we do is after deducting further bad debts whatever amount we derive, जो हमें amount मिलता है उसके ऊपर हम new RDT calculate करते हैं. But this time they have said to calculate us on the net sales. And what is the value of the net sales is? Net sales means the outer column value of the sales, and that's the value is 30,000. So on 30,000 we are going to calculate 2%, right? So I'm just mentioning over here, so you can refer here itself. 2%. So on 30,000 if you calculate 2%, the value will be 600. So in the outer column amount will be 17,100. Okay. So this further bad debts and new oddity. I hope it must be cleared with you. Okay, just the calculation is in a different way. We are supposed to calculate on 30,000 because it is said on net sales. Okay, if they regularly say on debtors, then we would have calculated on 17,700. Okay, but as this time they have said differently, so we'll just calculate accordingly, otherwise the effects are not going to change. Now second effect in the formula. So here I am going to mention further bad debts 800 and we derived new RDD as 600. So the total of the three of them will be 1800. Okay, and out of 1800 if we'll minus 500, so outer column's balance will be 1300. Okay, next third adjustment, 1/8 of the patents are to be written off. Now written off, so we have to minus it from the patents, so less 1/8 written off. So if we'll divide 2000 by 8, you will get an answer of 250. So outer column's balance will be 1750. Second effect, profit and loss account debit side, 2 patents written off. Okay, outer column 250. Then next is a part of furniture rupees 5000 is purchased on 1st October 2018. So it's just an information, right, for the calculation of depreciation. So I've made a working note over here, calculation of depreciation on furniture. The total value of furniture is 13,000. Okay, out of which 5,000 we have purchased on 1st October 2018. So 8,000 is an old value. Okay, and the rate of depreciation is 5%. So on 8,000, on the older value, we have to calculate for the 12 months. So the answer will be 400. And on the 5,000, if you calculate 5%, okay, for the entire year, it will be 250. But we are supposed to calculate for 6 months, so it will be 125. So the total amount of depreciation will be 525. Okay, this adjustments we have done in the previous questions also. Okay, so now let us minus the depreciation from the furniture, less 5% depreciation. Okay, in the bracket I will just mention as per WN, that is working note. As per working note, it is 525. So if we'll minus 525 from 13,000, you will get an answer of 12,475. Right? On land and building also, I'm supposed to charge 10% depreciation. But before doing depreciation, I have to do the 8th adjustment also. Okay. So now first I'll do the 8th adjustment. Then we will calculate depreciation on land and building. Along with the land and buildings depreciation, we'll transfer the furniture's depreciation also into the profit and loss account. Okay, here it is little complicated, but you have to be very careful and alert. So just listen carefully and do it also very properly. Okay. Now first of all, on the land and building, I have to minus less repairs to building. Okay, it's an expenditure which is included, so I'm minusing it 2,000. Right? So the balance will be 20,000 in the inner column itself. So quickly I'll just transfer repairs to building in the profit and loss account. So to repairs to building, it is an expenditure. So repairs to building, existing account was not there. So I'll just transfer it into the outer column. Right? Now I have transferred repairs to building over here. Now I'm supposed to charge the depreciation at the rate 10% on the land and building. So less 10% depreciation, right? So the answer will be 2,000 and outer column's value will be 18,000. So now furniture and land and buildings depreciation I will transfer to the profit and loss account debit side. So to depreciation on furniture and land and building. Right? On furniture, we derived depreciation amount as 525 and on land and building it is 2000. So total value will be 2525 in the outer column. Okay, I hope you must have understood. Next is outstanding expenses, wages rupees 300 and electricity charges rupees 325. So outstanding always add. So add outstanding amount is 300. So outer column value will be 1250. Then in this electricity charges also I have to add Add outstanding 325. So outer column's value will be 1775. Now we have added to the wages as well as to the electricity charges. The second effect will go to liabilities, outstanding expenses, wages, electricity charges. Now wages is 300 and this is 325. So in the outer column it will be 625. Then next is allow interest on capital at the rate 3%. So interest on capital, the first effect will go to profit and loss account debit side. So to interest on capital, Archana, Prerna. Okay, now Archana's capital is 40,000. So on 40,000, we are supposed to calculate 3%, right? And Prerna's capital is 20,000. So on 20,000, we are supposed to calculate 3%. Alright. So on 40,000, if you calculate 3%, the value will be 1,200. And on 20,000, if you calculate 3%, it will be 600. So the total will be 1,800. Okay. So P&L debit side and now partner's current account credit side. So by interest on capital, okay, same way we have to write. Only name of account has changed. Nothing else has changed. Okay, so 1,200 and 600 in Archana and Prerna's account. Okay. So we are done with all the adjustments, right? So now we'll start with the balancing of an accounts. So first we'll do the totaling of the trading account. Now in the trading account, if you'll see on the credit side, you will see the balance of 42,000. And on the debit side, if you'll check, at the last position it is 0. So on the second position it's 5 plus 6, 11. So 1 carried. Then 5 plus 1, 6, 6 plus 7, 13. 13 plus 2, 15. So carried 5. So 5 and carried 1. 8 plus 1, 9. 9 plus 2, 11. 12, 13. So 3 carried 1. So 33,510 is the total of the debit side. So 42,000 is more. So that means credit side total is more. So I'll put it in the total row 42,000, and out of 42,000, if 33,510 will be deducted, the gross profit value will be 8,490. So to gross profit carried down, transfer to profit and loss account 8,490. Now on the debit side we have derived the difference. On the credit side, profit and loss account will be transferred by gross profit, brought down 8,490. Now same way in the profit and loss account, on the credit side first we'll do the total. Last position is 0. Second position is 9 plus 1, 10, 0. Carried 1. 4 plus 1, 5. 5 plus 3, 8. 8,800. Okay, is the total of the credit side. Now on the debit side, we'll see what is the total. In the last position, 5 plus 5, 10, 0. Carried 1. Then 7 plus 1, 8. 8 plus 5, 13. 13 plus 5, 5, 10, 23. 23 and 25. So 5 carried 2. 7 plus 2, 9. 9 plus 8, 17. 17 plus 3, 20. 22. 24. 29 and 29 plus 8, 37. So 3 carried, 3 plus 1, 4. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10,750 is a total of debit side. So this time debit side is more, right? So I have to mention in the total 10,750 both the side. So from 10,750 if we'll minus 8,800, so my answer will be 1,950. So this is my net loss. So I have to write here by net loss transferred to partner's current account. Okay, you don't have to forget that now it is a current account. So Archana and Prerna. Now what is the ratio is? Ratio is 2:1. Okay, so 1,950 we have to divide by 3. Okay, if we'll divide by 3, we will get an answer of 650. So Prerna's answer will be 650, and if you multiply 650 by 2, so the answer will be 1300. Alright, so now we have derived the net loss. The difference is on the credit side, so it will go to partner's current account debit side. So here I have to write to net loss. Okay, that is 1300 and 650. Alright, now this is current account. I cannot say that always it will carry a credit balance, because credit side भी ज़्यादा हो सकता है और debit side भी ज़्यादा हो सकता है. Okay, now we'll see first Archana's account. Now Archana's account debit side total is, I guess, more, okay, because on credit side I can see only 1200. So if I'll total up Archana's amount, that it will be 3400 on the debit side. Okay, so I'll just finish it off Archana's calculation first, because here one is a debit balance and one is a credit balance. Okay, so I'll get a by balance carried down. Okay, from 3400, 1200 minus then 2200 will be my balance carried down. Okay, so you have to be a little bit careful about the calculation of the current account, right? Now in case of Prerna, if I see on the credit side the value is more, and on debit side only one value is there, 650. So if I'll calculate Prerna's amount, it will be 2100 on the credit side. So I have to copy this total and I'll put it on the debit side as well. Now from 2100, if I'll minus 650, my answer will be 1450. So this is to balance carried down. Again I am repeating this, so this will make concept clear. In capital account I always used to tell that credit side total will be always more, because capital always carries a credit balance. Okay, but in current account the situation is not the same. Okay, there could be a credit total also more, or debit total also more, right? So in Archana's case, if you can see, debit side total is more, so I have put it 3400, 3400. So wherever the value is small, I have to write the difference over there. So here I am getting by balance carried down. Okay, and in Prerna's case credit total is more, so I am getting balance on the debit side. So to balance carried down I have to write. Okay, now in capital account we always used to get the difference over here only on the debit side. So I always used to say, if the debit side is the difference is, so in the balance sheet it will go to the credit side. Credit side means liability. So here I have to just write current account, okay, of Prerna. Only Prerna's account will come here, and the amount will be directly in the outer column, 1450. Okay, and Archana's the difference is on the credit side. So if the difference is on the credit side, it will go to the debit side. So debit means assets. So I'll just at the end I will write current account of Archana. Amount is 2200. Okay, I hope ये clear हो गया. अगर डेबिट में डिफरेंस है तो लायबिलिटीज में जाएगा, अगर क्रेडिट में डिफरेंस है तो वो एसेट्स में जाएगा. ऑलराइट, क्लियर हुआ ये. कैपिटल तो डायरेक्टली हमने लायबिलिटीज में लिख दिया, तो करंट अकाउंट लायबिलिटीज में भी डिफरेंस जा सकता है, एसेट्स में भी डिफरेंस जा सकता है. ठीक है, आई होप यहाँ तक आपको क्लियर हो गया होगा, समझ में आया होगा. नाउ लेट अस स्टार्ट विद द बैलेंसिंग ऑफ द बैलेंस शीट. नाउ फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल we'll do the calculation of the liabilities, right? लास्ट पोजीशन पे क्या है 5, सेकेंड पोजीशन पे क्या है 5, 5, 10 प्लस 2 12, कैरिड 1, 4 प्लस 1 5, 5 प्लस 2 7, 7 प्लस 6 13, 3, carried 1, then 1 plus 1 2, 3 4, 4 plus 3 7, and 6 plus 1 7 and 8. So I've got the total of 87,325. Okay, let us check on the asset side. Last position पे क्या है 5, second position पे क्या है 5 plus 7 12, carried 1 7 plus 1 8, 9, 9 plus 3 12, 12 plus 4 16, 16 plus 5 21, 21 plus 2 23, 3 carried 2, 2 plus 1 3, 3 plus 7 10, 13, 15, 15 plus 6 21, 8 29, plus 2 31, plus 5 36, 36 plus 7 43, 43 plus 2 45, and 45 plus 2 47. Carried 4, 4 plus 1 5, 5 plus 1 6, 6 plus 1 7, and 7 plus 1 8. So it's perfect, 87,325. So both the side we have got the same total. Okay, I hope you must have understood this question very properly. Revise it again if you don't understand anything. See it properly, solve it properly, and if still you have a doubt, please do mention in the comment box. I will reply to the same. And please do watch the full video. I'm putting a lot of efforts to make these videos. Okay, so keep watching, keep learning, and keep sharing. Do take a very good care of yourself and your family. Thank you so much.